The galaxy was vast and ancient, filled with countless stories of heroes and battles that shaped the cosmos. But among the glittering stars and the ruins of forgotten civilizations, one legend stood out. A tale so shrouded in mystery that few believed it to be more than a myth. These were the Forgotten Warriors, an elite group said to have existed before the formation of the Galactic Council, before the first alliances, and even before the great wars that carved the galaxy into its present state. Kalira Varin was an archaeologist from the Heleron Consortium, a brilliant mind known for her daring expeditions into uncharted territories. She had spent her life uncovering the secrets of long-dead civilizations, piecing together the stories that time had tried to erase. But nothing prepared her for the discovery that would change everything. The journey began on the desolate planet of Yorth 12, a barren wasteland orbiting a dying star. Ancient star charts pointed to this forgotten world as the resting place of something extraordinary. The legends spoke of a tomb, not for one, but for an entire cadre of warriors who had once held the galaxy in awe. These warriors, it was said, were undefeated in battle, their strength so unparalleled that their very existence had been deemed a threat. Kalira's crew was skeptical. Yorth 12 was a graveyard of failed expeditions, its surface littered with the remnants of ships that had tried and failed to explore its hostile terrain. But Kalira was undeterred. Her belief in the legend burned brighter than the dying star above. The expedition was grueling. Violent storms of electrified sand battered their equipment, and the air was thick with toxic gases that corroded their suits. Days stretched into weeks as they scoured the planet's surface, their search yielding nothing but despair. Morale among the crew was at an all-time low, and some began to question whether the tomb even existed. But on the 23rd day, everything changed. Kalira stumbled upon a cavern hidden beneath a jagged ridge. The entrance was marked by symbols unlike any she had ever seen, spiraling runes that seemed to shift and shimmer as if alive. Her heart raced as she called for her team, their equipment buzzing with excitement as they scanned the structure. "This is it," she whispered, her voice trembling, "the tomb of the Forgotten Warriors." The cavern descended deep into the planet's crust, its walls lined with intricate carvings depicting battles of unimaginable scale. Beings of every shape and size clashed with shadowy figures wielding weapons that glowed with a fierce, otherworldly light. Kalira felt a chill as she realized the shadowy figures were the warriors themselves, their forms depicted as ghostly and indistinct. The deeper they went, the more unsettling the carvings became. One panel showed a council of alien leaders bowing before the warriors, their faces etched with fear. Another depicted entire planets consumed by fire, the warriors standing amidst the destruction, untouched and victorious. "Whatever these beings were," murmured one of her crew, "they weren't just soldiers, they were conquerors." At last they reached the heart of the tomb. A massive chamber stretched before them, its ceiling so high it disappeared into darkness. In the center stood 7 sarcophagi, each one carved from a material that defied analysis. The sarcophagi were arranged in a perfect circle, and in their center a pedestal glowed with a faint, pulsating light. Kalira approached the pedestal, her breath hitching as she saw what lay upon it, a crystalline artifact, its surface shimmering with colors that seemed to shift in response to her presence. She hesitated before picking it up, her gloves tingling as the crystal hummed softly. The moment she touched it, the chamber came alive. The carvings on the walls began to glow, and a deep, resonant hum filled the air. The sarcophagi trembled, their surfaces cracking as an ancient mechanism began to stir. Kalira's crew scrambled to retreat, but she stood frozen, her eyes locked on the artifact as it projected a hologram into the air. The hologram depicted a figure clad in armor, unlike anything she had ever seen. It was tall and imposing, its face obscured by a helmet that glowed with the same light as the crystal. When it spoke, its voice echoed with the weight of centuries. "We are the Forgotten," it intoned, "the first guardians of the galaxy. When unity failed, we brought order. When chaos rose, we brought destruction. Our purpose was absolute." Kalira's knees buckled as the hologram continued, but our power was feared. The Council, in its infancy, sought to erase us. They sealed us here, burying our names and deeds beneath the sands of time. Yet, as the galaxy falters, our return was foreseen. Take the crystal and awaken us. Before Kalira could react, the sarcophagi burst open. 7 figures emerged, their armor gleaming and their weapons sparking with raw energy. The warriors moved with a grace that belied their size, their every motion exuding strength and precision. Her crew panicked, their shouts echoing through the chamber as they aimed their weapons. The warriors did not flinch. One of them raised a hand, and the crew's weapons disintegrated in bursts of light. Kalira stepped forward, holding up the crystal. "Wait," she cried. "We mean no harm." The tallest warrior turned to her, its helmet tilting as if studying her. "You awakened us," it said, its voice both commanding and curious. "Do you seek our power, or do you seek to destroy us as those before you did?" Kalira swallowed hard. "I seek to understand." The warrior seemed to consider this. "Then you must choose. Return the crystal, and we will sleep once more. Keep it, and we will reclaim our place in the galaxy." Kalira's heart pounded. She had spent her life seeking knowledge, but now she held the key to an ancient force that could reshape the galaxy. In the end, she made her choice. As the warriors stepped forward, the crystal in her hand pulsed brighter. The chamber quaked as the hologram shifted, displaying the galaxy itself, with countless planets lighting up one by one. Her crew watched in horror as the lights began to dim, consumed by spreading darkness. "What have you done?" Leovel whispered, his voice trembling. Kalira's eyes widened as she realized the truth. The warriors were not protectors. They were destroyers. And by awakening them, she had unleashed a force that the galaxy had buried for a reason. As the warriors turned their gaze toward the surface, their weapons glowing with unholy light, Kalira fell to her knees. The forgotten warriors were no legend. They were a warning. And now the galaxy would remember.